A shooter is detained after U.S. President Donald Trump whisks from stage at a gala dinner with news media. At Medical Council's hearing on a 2009 cerebral palsy case, paediatrician Sit Sou claims nurses never told him the baby was convulsing, so he saw no need to rush back. And Wang Tao House at Wang Fuk Court opens for the first day, allowing residents back upstairs to salvage what they can. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Cheryl Yun. United States President Donald Trump narrowly escaped another apparent assassination at the White House Correspondents Association dinner, where one Secret Service agent was wounded and guests scrambled for cover. The suspect, who reportedly targeted government officials, has been arrested and is due in court on Monday. Quinton Yang has more.
The incident unfolded at the Washington Hilton, where Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and some 2,000 guests had gathered for the annual black tie event. As Trump sat at the head table shortly after 8:30 p.m., explosions erupted. Sending diners ducking under tables. While armed agents stormed the stage and shepherded the president out. Cole Thomas Allen from California, aged 31, was arrested after allegedly charging past a security checkpoint, armed with a shotgun, handgun, and several knives before opening fire. Investigators believe he acted alone, though inquiries into his motives and any extremist links remain ongoing. The former teacher and game developer, reportedly a Democratic supporter, faces 2 counts of using a firearm in a violent crime and assaulting a federal officer. One Secret Service officer was wounded in the exchange, but in stable condition. In a press conference back at the White House, Trump said he believed he was the government's intended target and called his presidency dangerous.
So, nobody told me this was such a dangerous profession. If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run. Maybe I would have said, I'll take a pass. No, it's a dangerous profession, but I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job. As part of the job, it is a dangerous.
He also referenced recent assassination attempts in U.S. politics, but dismissed speculation linking the gunman to the Iran war. Quinton Yang, Cable News.
Back to Hong Kong, a pediatrician defending his role in a 2009 medical blunder that left a newborn with permanent brain injury told a disciplinary hearing today that he failed to examine the infant because a nurse's report lacked the urgency of a seizure warning. Quinton Yang has the details.
Testifying on the second day of the Medical Council inquiry, pediatrician Sit Sou claimed that during a 4 a.m. call, a nurse described the infant as choking on milk and appearing stiff, but never mentioned convulsions. Attributing the symptoms to feeding issues, Sit merely instructed the nurse to monitor the boy and only rushed to the hospital at 7:45 a.m. after a second nurse reported 2 subsequent seizure episodes. Counsel barrister Mike Lui challenged his account, questioning how Sit could vividly recall specific dialogue 16 years later, despite having no written records from the time. Lui then played a recording from a meeting held 8 days after the incident, where Sit explicitly told the parents that a nurse had reported suspected convulsions at 4:30 a.m. While Sit dismissed the discrepancy as a hindsight diagnosis, Lui accused him of lying to the council to cover his tracks. When pressed by panel members on his absence, Sit argued that because the baby stabilized within 15 seconds after suctioning, an urgent assessment seemed unnecessary. A defense expert testified any possibility of brain infection requires prompt action. Also attending the hearing, the baby's father said It was his first time hearing the choking on milk excuse, criticizing Sit for contradictions. The inquiry into the suspected 2009 medical blunder, which left the boy disabled with cerebral palsy and quadriplegia for life, has concluded witness testimony, with closing argument set for June 7th. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
Residents of Wang Tao House at fire-ravaged Wang Fuk Court made their first return to sift through what little was left, as several floors of Wang Tao House also reopened. One family posed for a final portrait, others grabbed treasured keepsakes, while a couple brought flowers to honor neighbors lost in a devastating blaze. Evelyn Bai has the story.
Today marks the 7th day of Wang Fuk Court residents making their long-awaited return to their homes. It is now the turn of those displaced from the lower floors of Wang Tao House. Seizing what could be her final moments at home, one resident posed for a last family portrait inside the flat, honoring a tradition kept for family gatherings such as birthdays. "We have countless group photos all taken inside the flat," she added. A man admitted he had been nervous, fearing the worst about the state of his flat. But his anxiety eased after he went upstairs and retrieved his property deeds and cash. This woman described the homecoming as bittersweet, as it was the first home she and her husband had ever bought, a place steeped in memories they now have to leave behind. Wang Tao House and the previously opened Wang Yang House suffered relatively light damage, so residents were able to salvage many items. Meanwhile, Wang Cheng House, one of the blocks worst affected, has now entered its 4th day of access, with authorities setting a 6-day window. A resident returned with a bouquet, paying tribute to a neighbor who perished in the blaze. This resident choked back tears as she revealed that about 90% of the home she had lived in for 43 years had been reduced to ashes. Wang Cheng House and Wang Tao House will remain open until Tuesday, followed by Wang Kin House and Wang Tai House. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Financial Secretary Paul Chan said Hong Kong is set for a major economic boost during the upcoming Labor Day Golden Week. He also noted that the momentum driving the city's financial markets is now unstoppable. The city is anticipating about 980,000 mainland visitor arrivals during the upcoming holiday period, a 7% increase over the same time frame last year. Writing in his weekly blog, Chen noted that this influx is expected to generate substantial business for the retail, catering, hotel and tourism sectors. The government is coordinating crowd control and support services at popular landmarks to ensure a smooth visitor experience and keep local businesses thriving. On the financial front, Hong Kong remains the world's top IPO hub. As of last week, initial public offering proceeds in Hong Kong have surpassed $140 billion. Chan said the market also saw a major milestone last week with the listing of Hong Kong's largest gold exchange-traded fund. By supporting physical gold redemptions, the fund helps the city build a complete gold industry and value chain. The Hong Kong Stock Exchange is also expanding its Southeast Asian reach through a new co-branded large-cap index with Bursa Malaysia. Additionally, authorities are working to include Bursa Malaysia as a recognized stock exchange, a move designed to tap into Islamic finance and attract fresh capital and international listings. A fierce qualifying heat for Cheung Chao's emblematic bun scrambling competition saw 12 climbers book their places in the final, with both defending king and queen of the buns safely through to defend their titles. Evelyn Bai shares more.
A total of 200 contestants packed the soccer pitch of Pak Tai Temple Playground, all scrambling for a slot in the finals. 10-time bun king Jason Kwok blazed a trail in the contest, leaving his rivals behind. I don't really care about my ranking. Just taking part every year proves I've still got what it takes and that I'm in good health, the island local said. Queen of Buns Janet Kung and 6-time champion Angel Wong also sailed through.
當然有壓力啦。
I am feeling the pressure, being positioned right beside Wong for the first time. She is still such a strong competitor after having a baby, Kung said.
我有時緊張得滯咧，會失手。
I have slipped up in the past when I got too nervous, so now I just enjoy the contest, Wong said, stressing her strategy is now to keep a calm mind. The 12 semi-finalists, 9 men and 3 women, will battle for the crowns of King and Queen of the Buns in the finals, set to take place on the outlying island on May 24th. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Possible U.S.-Iran talks hit a brick wall after U.S. President Donald Trump abruptly cancelled a visit by American officials to Islamabad. Iran doubled down on its refusal to negotiate under pressure as its foreign minister arrived in Oman before heading back to Pakistan. Evan Bai reports.
Speaking to reporters, Trump cited long travel time as the main reason for cancelling the trip by Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner.
We have all the cards. We're not going to spend 15 hours in airplanes all the time going back and forth to be giving a document that was not good enough. And so we'll deal by telephone, and they can call us anytime they want. Again, we have all the cards.
The president also claimed that he received a better offer from Iran.
And interestingly, immediately when I canceled it, within 10 minutes we got a new paper that was much better. They offered a lot, but not enough. Thank you.
He did not disclose the details, but underscored his condition that Iran would not have a nuclear weapon. In a telephone call, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian told Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif that Tehran would not enter negotiations with the U.S. under threats or siege, and that Washington must first lift its naval blockade. He said Americans' attempt to pursue dialogue while increasing pressure and military activity contradicts claims of seeking a political solution. Earlier, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi held talks with Pakistani mediators, describing his trip as very fruitful. Upon arriving in Oman, he is expected to return to Islamabad, joining a section of the Iranian delegation that went back to Tehran for consultations. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Hungary's outgoing Prime Minister Viktor Orban said he will not take up a seat in parliament. In a video statement released on social media, Orban said he is stepping down from the Hungarian parliament after a 36-year tenure. He noted that he is no longer needed in the chamber and will instead focus on the reorganization of the patriotic movement. Orban's Nationalist Party suffered a landslide defeat in the parliamentary elections on April 12, plummeting from 135 seats to just 52. The loss marks the end of his 16-year rule as prime minister. The center-right Tisza party secured more than a two-thirds majority in the 199-seat parliament, with leader Peter Magyar now serving as prime minister-elect. On to the weather now. Becoming cloudy overnight, sunny periods during the day with a few showers later. Temperatures will range between 24 and 28 degrees, moderate east to southeasterly winds. That's our news tonight. I'm Cheryl Yun. Thanks for watching and good night.